Hello, beautiful stars. This is Gwendolyn, and this is going to be your Tarotscope for November. I'm doing a bunch of different things this month. I want to talk a little bit about Venus in retrograde. Venus went into retrograde in Scorpio at the beginning of October, and it's going to be in retrograde until mid-November, and then it goes back into Libra. And this can really be a powerful time. It can really bring things out of the depths. Venus is the planet of love, money, values, things that we value in life. And Scorpio represents diving deep. It represents going deep into the mystery of things, where things regenerate. It can be going into the shadow. It's the murky waters. And I always think of a Star Wars reference when I think of Scorpio. It's like when Luke is going into the forest where things are scary and he's confronting his shadow self. And it's often when we dive into those murky waters that we find the pearls. It's just like diamonds are enclosed in carbon and coal, and you have to sort of dig away all that stuff, all of our shadow stuff, our core wounds, our fears, our coping mechanisms, all of that stuff is what Scorpio is about. Scorpio is able to go dive deep into that intensity, is able to traverse into those murky waters. And so with Venus being in Scorpio, it's about seeing where the depths are in the way that love shows up for us. And it's almost like unearthing all of that hidden stuff, all the stuff that maybe we keep buried inside. And it's an opportunity for release of that. I often see Scorpio as, sort of a volcanic force. It's like a Pele force in the Hawaiian tradition, where it's volcano energy coming up that purges and burns away everything. It can be destructive. But its function is to create new land, to create new fertile land. And if we look at Venus, Venus rules Taurus and Libra. And Taurus is terra firma, above ground, what we see on the surface. And Scorpio is what's below the surface, subterranean. So when Venus is going down into Scorpio, it's sort of like stirring up those waters of what's underneath. It's requiring us to dive deep, look for those pearls, look for those gems, and release all that stuff. And it almost builds a tension, so that when we pull back and keep, stirring up those waters, maybe it's creating confusion, maybe it's creating more mystery, maybe it's creating more wounds being released, more purging, but it's almost creating a tension that gets pulled back, so that when we emerge into Sagittarius, that's like an arrow we've been pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling, it shoots us forward. And Libra is all about equanimity, harmony, grace, order. That's where Venus is headed. So right now we have the Sun in Scorpio, we have Venus in Scorpio in retrograde. Venus is going to be going into Libra. Also in retrograde, that's where it's going to go back direct in harmony, in grace, in balance, in order. And then the Sun's going to charge forward into Sagittarius. So this whole Scorpio period, although it may feel intense, and that's gone from October 5th again to mid-November, it's an intense time. It's bringing up all that, purging all that, I just look at it as carbon. It's like the murky waters. What are our wounds about? We're going down deep into the depths. That's what Scorpio is about. And even if it feels intense, what it's doing is it's cleansing us. For Venus to go into Libra, it's harmonizing and balancing, clearing away all the gunk, so that we can go forward with grace and equanimity and harmony and clarity and balance. And then it also is prepping us for this period where the sun's going into Scorpio, which is full of optimism. It's full of truth-telling. It's full of exploration. It is the traveler, the explorer. So it's also about the archer. So it's shooting forward. So if you're going through turbulent times right now, that's Scorpio energy. That is having the courage to dive deep, having the courage to go into that forest, face your fears, and befriend the shadow, and walk out of the forest with it, heal it. So that's what's going on, everybody. I am going to be holding up the cards this month. I usually just show the surface, and I have these makeup bags that I keep my cards in. I love them. These are from Ipsy. I really like those. But I think this month I'm going to use the Waite. So I just wanted to say that as we are going through Scorpio season, and also with Venus retrograding in Scorpio and Libra, be gentle with yourselves. Know that this is a purging. It's a having the courage to look at our wounds and to go through those murky waters, to confront the shadow self and maybe heal those, so that when we move forward with Venus in Libra, we have that harmony, that balance. We were able to release and purge some of that. And that when the sun moves into Sag, we've got that optimistic, carefree, straight shooting, you know, we've drawn the bow back. The amount of work that we do, we'll draw the bow back to shoot it forward, and we'll go forward to the extent that we do the work. So that's the preparation for this month. And also, I've been doing a lot of work with Ho'oponopono. It's a beautiful prayer. It's a beautiful practice. And if you're interested in doing some healing work, it's just 4 steps. It's very simple. It is asking for forgiveness. Actually, the first one is saying, I'm sorry. So it's repentance. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you, gratitude, appreciation, and then love. So I love you. So the practice, you can focus on anything, whether it's something that you want to heal within yourself, something that it can be applied to anything. So it is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Try that out and see if it doesn't create magic and miracles and healing in your world, both for you and others. So anyway, I'm going to go on to each sign. Just want to say that. I want to thank all of you for being here. Welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're one of my regular stars. Thank you so much for being here and watching, and here comes November. Hello, lovely Leo. Welcome to November. I'm just going to shuffle the cards here a bit, and then we'll get right into the reading. And hopefully, as Venus has transitioned from Scorpio into Libra, still in this retrograde period, we're coming into that place where you're reaping the benefits of maybe some of the insights you got while Venus was in Scorpio. Again, going deep into those murky waters, finding the transformation, and headed forward into the grace, the balance, the order, and the harmony that Libra has to offer. So please excuse me if my voice sounds funny. My ears are a little bit waterlogged. I feel like I'm a little bit underwater because I went to a pool party this weekend and I still have water in my ears. But and I also wanted to thank you for your patience in this reading. It's just been a super busy week, and I'm trying to balance all of logistical things, fun things, and creative things. So thank you for your patience. And let's just get right into the reading for Leo. You open up with 6 of Swords in reverse. So this means, in the upright position, 6 of Swords means healing from something, moving from chaotic waters to calmer seas, smoother shores. It's actually funny. It actually looks like, you know, with Venus being in retrograde, sort of like the turbulent things that we may have stirred up in Scorpio, headed towards this calm, even, balanced horizon that Libra is promising. So it may be that it feels like it's still in backwards motion. Venus represents finances, love, things we value, and you may feel stuck from moving, moving, moving on, recovering from something. it may have been difficult to let some of those old paradigms go, or maybe some of those old stories about how you related to love, how you connected with maybe old wounds. This is healing and recovery. And in the reverse, there may be just a layer of fear, doubt, or resistance to letting go and actually healing from something. So you might want to ask yourself the question, or you might be asking yourself the question, who am I without these wounds? How do I act if this wound is healed, this thing that has protected me and served me in such a way? Who am I now without that armor, without that protection? It's an interesting question, Leo. So I'm seeing that there is a movement forward. There is a step towards recovery and healing, but there may be a little bit of fear, doubt, resistance that you can remove, and you will be able to move forward. So let's see what else is coming up with that. Yeah, new open beginning. This is the Fool. This is carefree, trusting, being open to the universe, having faith. You can see in his hand he's holding this white rose, and he's just in the present moment. He's accepting everything that the divine brings to him. And 0 is the number of potential energy. So it's feeling like all things are possible. And the yellow background reflects this optimism of this card. It reflects, a sunny day. You're represented by the sun, Leo. And so this is like stepping into the new sunny day. It's very cliched, but sometimes when I see this card, I think today is the first day of the rest of your life. It's Fool. It's new beginning. It's beginner's mind. It is having divine faith and trust in all that surrounds you. And so with both of these together, I see new beginning. I see heading towards a new chapter. I see recovering from any old stories, any old ways of thinking, from any turbulent shores to calmer waters, and having this sort of sunny optimism towards what is new and that you're stepping into. So I like that for you, Leo. I like that it's all about you releasing and recovering from something, healing from something, so that you can have this fresh, open, sunny optimism towards your next chapter, towards whatever's coming next. It's sort of like a blank slate. The slate's wiped clean. It's like a new horizon you're headed towards. So I love that for you. There may have been something that you're recovering from, an old heartbreak, an old disappointment or betrayal. 3 of Swords has to do with feeling betrayed, feeling, a piercing of the heart. But in the reverse position here, I always see these swords as ready to slide out of this heart. You're ready to let go of an old hurt, old pain, old betrayal, something that maybe it was a story of how it related to love, or maybe it was even a behavior that came up during this retrograde of Venus and Scorpio that you saw, okay, I can let that go. I don't have to do this anymore. I don't have to think this anymore. Swords always represent thoughts, beliefs, ideas. It's usually knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But when these are ready to drop out, your heart can become whole again. It's almost like any wounds of the heart have this opportunity to heal, and you have the opportunity to step into this new, fresh, optimistic, sunny day. So I really love this Fool energy for you, with letting these old paradigms that were maybe hurtful, maybe beliefs about love that you're recovering and healing from. You may have done some work during this Venus retrograde in Scorpio of seeing the gems within the darkness or the shadow. Scorpio is all about transformation. It's 8th house. It's dying and being reborn. And then you may see that you have some options. This card can go a couple different ways. And I'm seeing that it may mean something for some of you, and it may mean something for others of you. 7 of Cups is about having options, making decisions. For some of you, you may have many options that you're trying to decide upon which way to go. There's a lot of clouds in this card, though, so it has this fuzzy Neptunian energy where you can't quite see what the option is. You can't quite see behind the curtain. And that's one way that it may go. For others of you, it may be confusion. Sometimes 7 of Cups can be like seeing things through rose-colored glasses. A phrase that goes along with this card is all that glitters is not gold. So it may be that you're trying to assess from your multiple options of where you want to put your heart or which cup you want to choose. You've got this new start, and it's sort of like saying, okay, I've got 7 different roads I could take. Which one do I want? What do I want at the end of the day? What do I want at the end of the road? Which choice is most important to me? So it's an evaluation of options, and it's trying to gain clarity on what those options are. There may be some fuzziness as to which options are actually available to me. What choice am I going to make? Am I seeing things rosier than what they actually are? Sometimes I call this card the Las Vegas card. It can be that things are greener than they look, or again, that all that glitters is not gold. There's a little bit of seeing things as shinier or rosier than they are. So it's a real card of stepping back and evaluating things, seeing what the actual real options are before you. It can also be a card of temptation and of gambling. So be careful with that. Don't just pick something because it looks shiny on the surface. Make sure that you know what the choice is that you're making and are going to be satisfied with the results. And then we have Ace of Swords. This is clarity. Ace of Swords is truth with a capital T. This is revelation. It's an aha moment. It's a new thought, a new idea, a new belief, and it's crowned with victory. It is, whenever I see this card, I always think of the phrase, the truth will set you free. And that's very true. This is the sword of Archangel Michael. And it comes through with crisp clarity, new idea, new way of thinking. Aces are always new beginnings. And this is the Excalibur sword. So some truth, some revelation, some aha moment is available to you when this shows up. I'm seeing that is happening sort of mid-month here. Yeah, Queen of Swords, look at this. She's holding the sword of the truth up. This is having clarity of thought, clarity of speech, deciding your boundaries and defending them. And so this is the sword that she's holding, the sword of the truth, saying this is where my limits are. This is what's outside the bounds. This is what's inside the bounds. I'm being very clear. You know exactly where I'm at. I'm in accordance with my own truth. I'm willing to speak my truth. This is you in the middle of the month, Leo, and I love it. It's sort of take no prisoners energy. It's sort of like saying, here's the line. Here's what I'm offering, and here's what I'm not offering. This is what I have. This is what the truth is. And if you are willing to adhere to these things, you can enter that kingdom. It's just being really honest. So a lot of honesty showing up for you mid-month. Love that. Then we have Ace of Coins. With that comes a new opportunity, a new gift from the universe. It's sort of like an invitation to walk through this gate into a garden, and that could be a new lifestyle, a new job, new money, something that is going to be stable. It's an offer of something that is going to produce results, that's going to be fruitful. So it's actually funny too, because I'm seeing her holding out her hand here, and then the universe says, yes, okay, you've been very clear about what you want. You're being honest with yourself and others. Here you go. Here's your reward. I'm just going to drop this coin into your hand that you have outstretched. I love all 3 of these here for you, Leo. 2 aces, by the way. You've got Ace of Coins, and you've got, Ace of Swords. So new beginnings, a new way of thinking, and a new thing to receive. So it's all about you getting really clear about what you want, what you think, and saying it, expressing yourself with honesty and integrity in alignment with your truth, Leo. So I love that for you. New good things are coming to you. Again, I just want to hold these up so you can see it's putting out that hand and receiving the new thing. That's your job here in November, is to just get clear on what you want, to say it, to be very honest, and then the universe rewards you with a new beginning because you're being so honest and so truthful. Let's see what else is coming up for you. Knight of Wands. And Knight of Wands in reverse. So this could be someone who's very aggressive. Knight of Wands in the reverse position shows Mars. Mars is the god of war, of conflict, aggression. And in the reverse, it's saying be careful of being too fiery. Don't lose your cool. Don't go into a rage. Don't proceed too quickly and too aggressively. You know, this is a card of arrogance, being bossy, being somewhat self-centered. It's confident and daring and bold, but it's sort of like, I'm gonna burn the house down, whatever it takes. I'm going to just charge in. It's full of fire energy, so this can be very aggressive, fiery, open hostility, rageful energy. So I'm going to say if you have someone around you who is acting like this, or if this is showing up in your own experience, take a moment to just pause. You know, it's a time to not let the Mars energy get too big and too blustery. This could be like a big ball of flames. Yeah, I would just say that, just be aware of that. Be aware of not being too fiery in this particular case. Or if someone else is showing that, you don't necessarily have to engage with that. You don't have to put your torch on that flame. This is Page of Pentacles in reverse. So this could be an earth sign person, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. And it looks like there's an offer that is not coming. Or it looks like there's an apology that's not coming. This could also be a job offer. Sometimes Page of Coins it's an opportunity or an offer, or someone handing you something. Again, sometimes it could be an apology, but whatever the thing is, it's not being offered at the moment. This is Page energy, which is very young energy. And this person is saying, no, this is my coin. I want to hold on to it. I want to play with it. This is mine. I'm not offering it to you. I want to keep this for myself. It also can mean not being open to learning something new. In the upright, Page of Coins is a student. It's someone who's very diligent, someone who is willing to learn a new trade or go to the fundamentals of something. In the reverse, he's saying, you know, I'm not open to learning something new. I have what I want right here, and I'm not going to go further. So this could be like something that feels stuck. What I'm seeing is there may be a standoff between fire energy and earth energy. Fire wants to blaze through and create change and, you know, say, I want it this way. And the earth energy is saying, you know, they're just staying fixed and staying put. I think of Taurus when I think of this. You know, they're digging in their heels and saying, you know what, I'm not budging. And this is saying, you know, come with me, do it my way. I'm getting angry and upset. And this is saying, no, you know, I'm not making this offer. I'm not going to give you what I have. So interesting energies here. See if you can find that middle path between not going into anger and not being stubborn. Just see if you can be flexible and open, and you'll avoid both of these. You'll avoid any potential standoff between those two very different ways of approaching things. Really, your strength this month, Leo, is this: clarity, truth, speaking the truth, you know, being in alignment with it, being clear on what's true for you, and expressing that to others. That's where your new beginnings come from, Leo. Let's see what else is coming up. The Sun. Sun in reverse. This is a really positive card, and this is your card, Leo. And even in the reverse position, it's still very positive. It's just saying that there's some way in which, you know, maybe if it's in the, think of it this way, if it's in the upright position, it's 100% of the sun's vitality and light and optimism and joyfulness. In the reverse position, it's sort of like there's a cloud in front of it, like it's at 70%. It's still shining. It's still a sunny day. It's still joyful. But you may just not be feeling at 100% towards the end of the month. There might be something about this. If this is you in a conflict with someone else, maybe an earth sign, It could be that it's just bumming you out. You're still happy, you're still joyful, you're still doing your thing, but it's just, if you can stay out of going into anger, too much fire, you might be able to turn this around. You might still be able to radiate your sunny self. Like, you won't have any regrets about having any outbursts or too much fire energy, especially if it's anything to do with an earth sign person, potentially a younger earth sign person. Yeah, the sun is still super positive. It's still you being joyful. It's still you radiating your own vitality, your own happiness, your own confidence, boldness. You Leos have a way of sort of being at center stage and being at the center of your own life. And don't let any regrets of saying things or doing things, don't get away from yourself in terms of crossing over into too much fire, anger, rage, harsh words. That can happen with Knight of Wands in reverse, so just be aware of that. And then Queen of Wands in reverse. Again, this is you, Leo, but these cards are extremely optimistic, extremely sunny. It's all about taking action on things, completing things, pursuing your dreams, doing the things that you want to do and seeing results. With these in reverse, it's just saying that you feel maybe a little bit diminished or a little bit like you're not able to shine forth as bright as you want to. You're not, there's something that may be on your mind, or that there's a challenge here that is making you feel like you're at half-mast, that you're not able to show up as your natural self. Let me see if there's, who is this about? Page of Swords. This card is about communication, and sometimes this can be spying. Page of Swords is the younger side of an air sign, or it's the younger side of the communicative, mental, logical, analytical element. Sometimes this can be blunt words. This could be, you know how kids just say things right off the top of their head? It can be very refreshing, but they can say things that catch people off guard. That's Page of Swords energy. So I'm seeing a need in November to be diplomatic. That Queen of Swords has that down. She's a master of her words. She's a master of being fair. I always think of Libra with this card. She's a master of being fair, honest, truthful, diplomatic, clear. She's firm. She's no pushover, but she's considerate of the impact of her words. Page of Swords is not. Page of Swords will say anything, just what's on their mind. Again, it can be refreshing, but it can be very cutting, or it can be a little bit blunt. It can be without thought. Sometimes Page of Swords can be like running with scissors. So what I'm seeing for November is that you have a wonderful opportunity at the beginning of the month to heal from anything that felt like you needed to recover from it, anything that felt like heartbreak, betrayal, disappointment. There's great healing available here, and you have a lot of options to go in this new direction, to feel carefree, to feel like you're starting over, feel sunny, optimistic, like you haven't a care in the world. I do see in the middle of the month that your greatest strength is embodying this Queen of Swords energy. It's holding up the truth for everyone to see. It's a new beginning, a new way of thinking that leads to a new opportunity that is fruitful, that is stable, that creates new results. This here is at the center of the month, and it's when Venus is going into Libra. It's giving you it's kind of giving you that strength of Queen of Swords energy, being careful, being diplomatic, graceful, honest. New things are coming in because of that. And with the rest of the month, there may be challenges of not being blustery, especially if there's someone who's young and or stubborn. These two energies can go head to head. I'm thinking, Leo, you know, with you being fire energy and this being earth energy, it can sort of be like fire against a mountain. You're not going to move the mountain. You're just going to deplete yourself. So that could be the only thing that is causing you to feel less than your full self, less than this radiant, confident, bold being that you are, Leo. Just be careful with your words. Don't run with scissors, metaphorically. Don't say things that you would regret, that would take you out of all this great energy. Being super confident, super bold, super attractive, radiant, vital, happy, joyful. Don't put a damper on that by being careless with your words, is what I'm getting from these cards. Instead, see if you can carry this Queen of Swords energy, this diplomacy, thoughtfulness, carefulness, equanimity, fairness. That is where your gift is this month. That is what brings in the new things, being honest, truthful, expressing yourself with dignity and integrity. That's really the blessing this month for you, Leo. So I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful November. I hope you all have beautiful Thanksgivings. And if you like this reading, feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it with another Leo. And I just want to thank everyone so much for being here. Yours in the stars.